How are you today?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you.
That's good. It's
Freezing cold of Adelaide.
Yeah, well, it's pouring rain and freezing cold here too. So.
That's right.
Are you always been an Adelaide person?
No, I moved here about 8 years ago. I'm originally from Newcastle, and I married an Adelaide girl, and moved here when we had our first child.
Right, and you have since then actually become the lead singer for the Angels.
Yeah, it's only it's going on 2 years now. I think somewhere a little over 100 gigs we've done together, and it's a funny place to find yourself in your early 40s, that's for sure, singing for the Angels.
Yeah. So you came out of a pretty much legendary band but walked into a band that is a complete legend.
Yeah, well, look, obviously my first love will always be the Jets, and that's something I've poured my heart and soul into since I was a 20-year-old. But to walk into the Angels with their vast catalogue of amazing songs is a bit of I feel like I might have, done something to get lucky, that's for sure.
It's probably actually made you feel a bit like a child again. It's keeping you young.
Well, definitely. Learning some of the songs that I used to go to sleep to when I was, 12 and 13, I'd shared a bedroom with my two older brothers, and I was subject to their music selection. So to be up there singing Mr. Damage on stage, a song that used to scare me to sleep when I was about 13, is pretty surreal.
Do you ever think about scaring other kids when you're singing it?
If they're listening to Mr. Damage, they'll be scared. Don't worry about that.
Are the Screaming Jets still going?
Yeah, we're just organising a tour for November. We'll be out there doing it again.
Right. Well, speaking of being on stage, you released an album for the Angels last year, and you're just about to head off on tour for that, a regional tour.
Yeah, we've basically been touring it since probably the start of this year. We've done about, I think we're up to about 60 gigs so far this year. And so we've been out there. It's very hard nowadays for any band bringing out a new record that isn't in the glare of the spotlight, to get much traction as far as new songs being played. So we've just been out there playing the new stuff and as well as all those songs that people know and love.
I did read somewhere that when you started the Screaming Jets, you did like 280 shows in 12 months. Yeah,
oh man, I'd still do it now if there was the market for it, but I don't know what my body would say about that. But my brain definitely would love to be still able to do that many gigs in a year, and that meant sometimes you'd be supporting someone at 7 o'clock on stage and playing at another venue somewhere else. And from our very first band, we saw ourselves as like a well-drilled military operation, and we'll play anywhere, anytime.
And it's pretty much paid off for you too.
Yeah, well, we were lucky that we got in when we did, or that we started when we did, and that there was still the availability to do so many gigs. But obviously nowadays it's a different playing field. Yeah.
With everything that you have done, what do you think is your most precious memory?
Oh, look, I think the most precious memory anyone has is the first time that they get a gold record. I mean, we've never had an ARIA or anything like that, so I don't know what that's like. But the fact that a gold record is something that says here you've sold 35,000 copies of your album. So even though we've had 5 or 6 of those, the first one was to me the thing that really sticks out.
Yeah. Speaking of Mr. Damage a minute ago too, I just noticed you've got a Mr. Damage fan club on your website.
Yeah. Oh, look, the Angels fans, that's what I remember most vividly about our first contact with the Angels, is just how hardcore the Angels fans were, to the extent that at one gig, I think we're in Traralgon or somewhere like that, the whole front row just turned their backs on us and stood there with their back to the punter barrier until we got off stage.
Is that because you weren't...
have always been, almost as legendary as the band. I also remember playing with them, supporting them at Central Coast, 2,000 people there, and of those 2,000 people, there was about 50 guys in sunglasses with short hair that just stood there in front of Rick Brewster the whole night and didn't move, exactly like Rick Brewster.
All right. Yeah, because you have 3 Brewster brothers in the band who were the Angels.
There's 2 Brewster brothers and one's a son.
Oh, right.
Sam's the son of John Brewster. John and Rick obviously formed a band in 74, but Sam came on board when Chris Bailey was taken ill with cancer again, and now that Chris has passed away, Sam's like had the baton handed over to him by Chris, and he's a permanent member of the band.
Yeah. Oh, cool. A father-son business.
Yeah. Oh, really. John's got 2 other sons that are gun musicians as well.
Great. Oh, so there's plenty of players to come up.
Yeah, that's right. The Angels can be like the Wiggles, just have franchises.
Why not? So with the latest album, which is all new material, you would have all had input into the writing of that.
Yeah, well, it was mostly written by John and Rick and Chris, and then Nick Norton, the drummer from the band, he had quite a lot of input into it. I co-wrote one song with Rick, but we've actually recorded the album that's going to be coming out next year, the follow-up to Take It to the Streets, and I've had much more input in that. The boys wanted me to, they just kind of had some songs that didn't have any lyrics, so I wrote all the lyrics and very nervously presented them to the boys, and they loved them. So yeah, that's more and more input as time goes on.
Why Taking It to the Streets?
Well, I think it was kind of a statement that there was a little bit of wrangling went on, legal stuff behind the scenes. You can't use the name, you can't do this, and so after that had all gone on, I think that was just kind of the mantra was, well, let's get out of all this negativity and let's take it to the streets and let the people decide. And they've decided, and we've had great crowds for the last 2 years leading up. Probably 18 months leading up to the album, and then since the album's come out, yeah, we've been doing great crowds. So get it out there, do it like the old days, get it out to the streets.
And you personally also work for Triple M, doing a couple of shows.
Yeah, I do that. That's me, my real job. So I've been working for them for the last maybe 2 years, but it's an association that goes back. I think I first started doing some fill-in shifts on Triple M in Sydney in about 95 or 6. So it's just one of those things that presented itself when I had the opportunity to do it, and it's been a bit of a blessing. I've got to speak to some of my all-time heroes, Chris Cornell, a whole host of other people that I don't think I ever would have got to meet, but just by being in a band.
Well, your interview list maybe is a little bit shinier than mine. But I'm trying to give everyone a hand up here.
Well, no, that's look, I really appreciate that, and it's what look. I think it's something that people miss a little bit is an interview with these people rather than just sound bites and 20-second grabs. I like to hear the inside story of where music comes from and why it's made.
Well, if you've ever got time, we have bands come in the studio for the whole 2 hours of our show and guest program.
Awesome. I love the sound of that. When a friend of mine worked in community radio at Newcastle, 2NURFM, and we used to go in and we'd put on a side of an album and just sit there listening to it.
With your radio shows, how often do you get to spin the Angels and the Screaming Jets?
Look, I kind of, it's hard not to spruik the things that you love about, but yeah, I slip them in every now and again. And I don't feel so bad about the Angels because obviously we don't play stuff with me singing, it's obviously with Doc singing, so they're iconic songs that need to be played and need to be heard. But with the Jets, I just feel a little bit kind of, as I was saying before, that the Jets is my baby. So I do feel a bit like I should pull back. I don't know. It's very fun. It's a strange relationship we have.
If you could get on a tour around anywhere, Australia, America, with one of the iconic bands, who would that be?
I'd love to tour with Aerosmith. I'd love to tour with Slash. And look, either band. Right. The Angels or the Jets, whoever wants us. And
do you have a new band that you're right into at the moment, like one of the younger bands?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a band I'd heard from Canada. They were out here earlier this year called the Trews, Trews. They're fantastic. And there's another guy, Dallas Green. He's the guitar player from a band called Alexis on Fire.
Oh yeah.
He's a fantastic performer, and he's about to come out here as well later on this year. So, and the other one, I heard a great song by the Rubens the other night.
Oh yeah. Fantastic.
They're great songwriters. Whoever's writing that stuff.
Yeah, you do know the Rubens have got 3 brothers in them.
Oh, have they? There you go. It's the brother chemistry. I heard Kings of Leon's new song came out yesterday, I think, and I don't know. It's not. It doesn't do it to me or for me like some of their other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they've gone into that self-production mode, which can be a bit of a trap.
I like them, but they've always been a little inconsistent, I found. I don't like all their music.
What about the fact that the lead singer not only sings exactly like John Stevens, but if you put the words to one of Noiseworks' songs, they overuse somebody. It's the same song.
Oh, well.
But, look, when I first heard it, I thought, oh, wow, this is a new John Stevens song, when I first heard of Kings of Leon. And, he certainly, he must have taken a few cues off him for sure.
Listening to you talk here, I'm imagining this is pretty much what you do on the radio too.
That's right. I love it.
When are your shows on the radio?
Midday till 1, everywhere but Victoria, because Lee Simon, who actually came up with the Rock of Ages concept, he still does it in Victoria. And then anywhere between 7 to 9 or 8 to 10 at night time, Monday to Friday.
Right, and so you can get it streamed online these days.
Yeah, I think I go to 81 stations around the country, so
yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, well, it's all good.
Yeah.
So you are touring the album the 26th of July. You'll be in Hurlstone Park.
Canterbury Hurlstone, Mounties at Mount Pritchard on the night after.
And then, the 27th of July, you're at Mount Pritchard in New South Wales.
Yep.
And then on the 3rd of August, you're coming to the iconic Gershwin Room in St Kilda.
I haven't played the Espy for so long. I mean, I've over the last few years, I've had a few nights there, but I haven't played there for a long, long time, so can't wait.
Yeah, it's my favourite venue, but everyone who listens to my show knows that already. And Chelsea Heights on the 30th of August in Victoria.
Yep.
And then Ferntree Gully on the 31st. The Ferntree Gully Hotel's got a good reputation too.
I reckon that's one of the first places the Jets ever supported the Angels in 1990 or something like that. And it was a bloodbath. It's a much nicer place now.
So with your touring the new album, do you still do a few of the old Angels songs in there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the show consists mostly of, back catalogue and stuff like that. And we only throw a few songs off the new album in. But when you've got 150 songs that everyone knows every single chord and word to, it makes it kind of, there's songs you have to do. And
have you ever done a show without doing Am I Ever Going to See Your Face Again?
No. Even in Japan we did that.
That is
all
the
these
must
Japanese people going, why are they yelling? Why are they screaming obscenities? We're in Bali. We went over to do a friend's birthday party and was sitting there in the bar the day we were leaving, and these two Balinese guys walking around with guitars. Someone told them that they were the guys from the Angels at our table. They came over and started singing Am I Ever Going to See Your Face Again? It was unbelievable.
Well, as long as you're having fun, and
Absolutely.
It sounds like you are.
All about the fun.
It sounds like you're having just an amazing life at the moment.
Yeah, I've hit a bit of a purple patch, no doubt about it.
Oh, well, that's good. You've earned it.
Oh, cheers. Thanks, Kat.
I'll give out your website address, which is theangels.com.au, and on Facebook you are the Angels official page. Yeah,
look, it's the Angels website. I love it. It's put together by a guy called Blicker, who is just a fan of music. And this is the side of the industry that I think is coming back to life, is that fans are becoming involved like they used to be involved, rather than being marginalised as they have been for quite a long time by the whole social media thing. And, I think when fans get involved, it's not like they do it for nothing. They're professional people and they're getting paid. But when they get involved, it shows in the content that they put out.
And you do, of course, have links to your social media on your website.
Yeah, they tell me that. I don't do social media, which is a good thing, because I was able to weather the storm of all the negative responses to me being involved in the Angels, because I didn't read them. Well, so I don't care. I'm useless.
Thank you very much. You've been brilliant.
No worries, Kat. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.